Good evening everyone, I hope everyone is okay. Welcome to the first video of Introduction to Chess. I'm your presenter from Debate Pro Solution, right on Mchafangi. So the issue now is we're focusing on the chess game, which is one of the most important game in the world, whereby we call it the battle of the minds. This is a game about problem solving, about critical thinking, where your skills of trying to find a way about strategy. So let's dive in and try to look at how do you play chess. So for you to play chess game, you have to know the chess pieces first. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is that we're going to be focusing on the first piece, which is very important in the chessboard, which is the pony. So the pony is one of the most important pieces. We call them the little soldiers. So what they do is that they open the battlefront on the front line, defending your kingdom or defending your country, right? So the pony usually it moves 2 squares if it's first time to move, or usually it moves 1 square when it is your choice to move it 1 square when it is first moving, and it also continues to just move 1 square. So you can only move 2 squares when you are first moving it from its original position. Then it doesn't also move backwards, so it always moves forwards. That's the pony. Just like the soldiers, they always move forward, right? Then you also have another important piece, which is the rook, known as the castle. So the castle's job is to they stand on the end of the kingdom. So we usually call them the rook. So the rook, what it does is that it moves vertically and horizontally in a straight line. So this is one piece of the chessboard which only moves in a horizontal and vertical basis on the squares given. Then we have what to call the knight, known as the horse. The horse, what it does, actually jumps other pieces. So it usually makes the L shape, whereby you just read 1, 2, 3 squares ahead, then you turn, making an L shape. That's the knight, known as the horse. So the name of calling it horse is a traditional name, but it's named the knight. That's how we call it. Then we have also what we call the bishops. The bishops, what they do is that they move diagonally, but what they do is that they follow a specific design. So if you're moving a bishop from a black square, it only moves diagonally in the black square. If you're moving a bishop on a white square, on white squares, it only follows the design. It's only moves the diagonal shape in the white squares. It doesn't move a diagonal shape in the black squares. So that's what you have to understand, that we have a black bishop and a white bishop. So, and also on the black side, if you're going to play in position chess, we have black and white, but we do have the design of the bishops from the black side and the white side, but they do follow a specific kind of order, whereby the black bishop moves diagonally in the black squares and the white bishops move diagonally in the white squares, right? And then we have one of the most important pieces, which is known as the queen. This is the most powerful piece of the chessboard. So the queen actually moves any direction that it wants. It doesn't only move as the knight, but any other pieces it can move like in other pieces. I can follow even the way the rook moves, and the way the bishop moves, the way the pony moves. It can do all those things, but it cannot follow the way the knight moves, forming an L shape. But the queen is the most powerful pieces on the chessboard. Then we have the king, which is also the most important piece on the chessboard, which needs to be protected, because remember, the queen is supposed to protect the king and to make sure that the chess becomes interesting and fascinating to play. So the most important thing that you have to know is that the king only moves 1 square in whichever direction. He only moves 1 square. And if your king get caught up by other pieces from the other opponent, that's when your king doesn't have anywhere else he can move. We call that checkmate. And when he still have other squares in which he can avoid check, when he can move to other squares, but he can only move 1 square. So we're going to be diving into the introduction to chess in depth as we look at a broader video in the next playlist coming. So continue to subscribe and stay tuned for these lessons. Thank you.